setup or the formation of the company. This kind of goes with the title, but let's talk about the setup and the formation. What I found is sometimes clients don't understand the basic setup or the formation of the company when it comes to just ownership. And so we talked a lot about LLCs. Let's break down some of the corp stuff, because if you notice, for those of you who have corporations or incs, one of the questions they always ask you is, how many shares does your corporation or your inc have? And sometimes I see clients will put 1 or 2 or something like that. And that shows me immediately that they don't understand what the question is. Your share that you have in a company, when they ask you to choose the amount of shares, they're basically asking you to do a very quick valuation of what you think your company is going to be worth or how you plan to scale your company. Now, you may say to me, well, I have no idea what it's going to be worth in a year or two. And that's fair. That's very fair. But by putting, for example, that you have 1 share and you have multiple owners, it becomes really, really, really difficult for you to be able to then sell some shares to raise capital later, or even account for the dividends of that share. So a basic rule that I've read somewhere, I believe it was in Forbes that I had read, that the average, if you want to really think about it, the average IPO, which is the initial public offering, is $10 a share. Like if you had to just think about it because you have no idea and you just want to put something, you can start off with $10 a share. Now, that's just a suggestion. Again, it can be what your company is valued, and then work from there. So if you have 1 owner, 1 shareholder, or multiple shareholders, it's very difficult if you have 1 share or 2 share to be able to then calculate your dividends for that company, which is your profits. So in not understanding the setup or the formation, I have a company I'm working with right now that they don't have what I would consider enough shares in the company, and now they want to raise capital. So now we have to go back and try to figure out how we can add more shares to the company. And again, it's only because they didn't really understand what they were supposed to put in that part when they set up their company, which I understand. You know, if you don't know, at least do some research and consult, and we'll get to that in a bit. So again, the third mistake that I see companies making is in their setup and formation and not really understanding what they're supposed to put.
The content on Minding Your Business is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be construed as specific legal advice. This show discusses general legal issues affecting business owners. Opinions of the guests are not necessarily that of the show. If you need assistance with your specific legal issue, please consult with a licensed attorney.